I just saw that. I'm sure you did. So you know how to source that we just got the US. Yeah, they're just kind of like a teacher.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, I would still dance with them. But he was shaker and we would have I've been in place with steroids. Yeah. I just was talking
Oh, yeah.
and it was
Nonsense.
nonsense. And I still have my and that was fun. Okay, we did that shadow, which is great. Because we.
Hi, how are you? Good. Good time last night. Pretty good. I held off. Good. No, we're not. Brandon said something about mental health thing, and I said, are you made of sugar? And normally I say, well, I'm not sugar, but I'm also not made of sugar, so I don't know, it's fine. I work here. Say, well, hi, honey, how you doing? We're gonna be here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can do that. That's how it's set up.
Well, I actually never.
I'm glad you did that.
Hello, sir. How are you? Thank
Yeah, we got a couple from Lisa Wilson. Her kids up through it. This is really my friend Ross. This is my friend.
Sorry, ladies.
Another row five. This is my friend Mark. Just enough people. So what it is it's for the it's just take your tickets so we'll see. Eight to 10:30. Don't worry about it, Mark. We got other people. Lisa, music, some quick fingers. I thought it was a good time.
How are you? Good to see you. I was on a boat last night and David was over the top of the boat. People saw you in water shots.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, this little girl is adorable. So it was good. And it's super cool. So I talked to the guy came up here as well. So anyway, that's
A lot of fun.
What do you want to do? Just remember doing that.
It was a nice weekend. Yeah. We had a lot of fun. By the time we got to Sunday, I was like, out all day. We went to meetings for yeah. But they've got. With the best shot, I'll have. What's that? Water slides.
Let me think about how. That's fine.
I'll give you.
We just got that from.
So, howdy. I have some technical interest.
Okay.
So I was curious because I've been watching it since I'm Brad.
Oh, Brandon.
Brad,
Nice to meet
Brad up and down. So I'm fairly new,
Mhm.
but I kind of like the technology stuff.
Yeah.
And so I've watched the last few meetings on Zoom. And have they always been the same? You watch them?
The audio is terrible, and
So-
we'd really like to find a way that we can make it to where the people on Zoom can get better audio.
Right.
So what we did for a while is we took that camera, which is supposed to be wireless, but you can see it's plugged in, and we would like move it around to where people were talking, and that worked like a little bit, like it helped just a little. But I think really what we need to do is we need to figure out a way for a microphone to like go right into Zoom, so when you're talking, it's actually going through there.
Or
Which
even
I don't know how to do.
or even just a mixer
Mhm.
because they have overhead
Mhm.
audio, so like if you could get the output from things.
So my recommendation, Brad, would be, look into it, see what you can find, and then just bring it to the board. And if it's something they need to purchase or something that they can put somebody in charge of, they will. And they're pretty good about that.
Right. Well, I just think that I'm a content guy, an online guy, and so
It's just so hard to hear.
well,
So I was in school for 3 months last year, and I did that too, where I was listening on Zoom. And I mean, you can really only hear Laura, or like at the time Kurt,
right.
and that's it. Like everybody else is just kind of mumbled, and you might hear like a few
And
words.
maybe it's a different camera setup too. Maybe
Yeah.
it's something simple on it.
I think
All
you're
right.
on to something.
I will ponder it.
I think you're on to something. And this camera, we've had trouble getting it to connect to this computer, and this won't surprise you because I know you do a little bit with technology. But you've got Apple, and then you've got this is a completely separate system called a Vivo, which is like
Yes.
a webcam,
Yeah.
and then you have the in the middle you've got Zoom. So you've got 3 different systems. They all need to update at different times. So every time something updates, it kicks another one off, and then you have to keep uninstalling and reinstalling it. So it'd be really nice if we had a system that actually like communicated with each other very well, but they don't. So we're trying to make it work.
Well,
but,
you are on top of it. Now.
It's
Can you
tough.
Describe all the issues that you're running into.
I've been working on it for the last couple of weeks, just trying to help. I don't want to do it. I'm just trying to help.
Well, it's not even, it's not even help, but it's just like, because we know it's a better product, right? Because I'm on work with Dick on the communications. So I just, it's like, gosh, the video, the content, we should be cutting that up a little bit and put some of those segments out there.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
the quality is not good enough. That it wouldn't be a good reflection.
Wouldn't work. Yeah, we need to put. I think we need to put some 2 things. Number 1 is smart, intelligent, people who have a background in that kind of stuff, and then number 2 is maybe some overhead, like some money invested into an actual system instead of the computer wireless webcam thing. Try to go more towards like a microphone, like something that's going to go right into the system and make it easier. Because our Zoom people are pretty reliable. We usually have 5 or 6 of them every day. Sometimes 8 or 10, just depending on how many people are here.
Well, and I think it's too sticking with it. Have new people come in or whatever. I don't know what the issues are, but I know it's not that expensive to do.
No.
Get it where it needs to be.
I don't think so. Laura would be extravagantly excited for you.
Don't put it up.
I won't say anything.
Anything good over here?
Yeah, you're good. I don't know where your clicker is, but
Do you know I mean, Brandon has been.
no. He's the guy. Yeah.
No.
We were just talking.
Your brainstorm. I have watched like the last 3 meetings online, and so it was great content. So it's just trying to make it better than it did for that.
It's hard to hear. He said microphone's tough.
Audio is good.
Yes, solutions for ideas about solutions.
I have some thoughts.
Okay, great.
Anyway, so
Do you like lunch? Do you like sandwiches? You want to talk available tomorrow? Friday?
how does this happen? It's just
He's all over it. He's all over it.
let me do some snooping around. I don't know, well, it shouldn't even like, right? You're actually correct.
Well, it's been, yeah, so besides you, usually, tunes in her, home at Woodbury.
Oh.
She's the other person who has lots of thoughts and ideas about it, so together, we could,
Yeah, and I did it for 3 months, and it was the same way. It was really hard to hear. Yeah, you can hear. Usually, you can hear the president, but you just can't hear anybody else. That was it. And if they use a microphone, it helped, but it never was good. It was
This is
just a
just
little
the
better.
second week that we tried to get closer to this moment.
I was just trying to think of ambient audio, and that's a trick. So I think, all right, I'll look.
Okay.
We have a meeting.
We're excited.
Very excited.
We're excited.
We'll see.
I don't know if you are.
Yeah.
Welcome, friends, and all of the guests. The room is nice and full today. They just set another table over here in the corner for the folks who are just arriving and are going to eat. There's more spaces just hidden around the corner here, so please make your way up. So, welcome to our Faribault Rotary Club weekly meeting for August 2nd. Our agenda today is going to be fun-filled, packed with exciting things. We have a really great presenter. We have a lot of fun guests. And so, agenda pretty much the same. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll start with, and then the four-way test for our visitors who are here. That is our yellow sign up here if you want to read along. We'll sing a patriotic song. I will put the words on the screen for that. So sing along, sing your hearts out. We have a virtue reading and invocation. We'll cover some club announcements. We have a Rotarian reclassification to wish one of our Rotary members a happy birthday. And then Nathaniel is not able to join us, so we have Dr. Marie Hansen is going to fill in on fellowship. And then my longtime friend, and most of you probably know him as well, Mr. Delon D. Musselman is here to talk to us about making Faribault a friendly place. So super exciting. I never even had a simple conversation with you know that he radiates enthusiasm and friendship and welcoming, and he's a wonderful one. So we'll get started. Whoops, not that fast. Okay, up here, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And the Star Spangled Banner. So we have a brave singer in the audience. Gail? Sure. Start us off.
Oh, say can you see why the concert we light? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallant we screamed, and the rockets red glare, the bombs were singing, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
out to others with warmth and care. It is the willingness to be an intimate companion. Friendship is essential to our souls. We value ourselves enough to know that we deserve true companionship. We attract others by what we are willing to contribute. What we give, we get. The presence of a friend can soothe us, unleash our laughter, amplify our joy, and reduce our sorrow. Friends are compassionate witnesses to one another's stories. We share our time, our attention, our love, and above all, ourselves. We look upon strangers as friends we haven't met yet. Friendliness is the best cure for loneliness. I don't need a certain number of friends, just a number of friends I can be certain of. Alice Walker. The practice of friendliness. I make others feel welcome. I trust that I am worthy of companionship. I have compassionate curiosity. I take a genuine interest in others. I share my laughter and my tears. I invest my time and attention in friendship. I am thankful for the gift of friendliness. It makes me a true companion.
Very nice. And Ibrahim is going to read a blessing for us today.
May our tea is thick and served sweet by sharing and surrounded by warmth and love. And
Perfect. Okay, you can be seated. All right. Club announcements. So coming up tomorrow night, Ryan and Ellie and Summer and Daniel are hosting another movie night at the Stone Orchard Event Center in Fairhope. Hi, they're showing the movie Jumanji, the original one, not the one of the rock, but quick one with Rob Williams. And so I did the last one with my girls, and it was really, really fun event. So if you don't have plans for tomorrow night, head out to Stone Orchard Events. Blue Collar Music Festival, I changed that for Peter. We still have a few openings to help with volunteering on Friday night and Saturday night. There was a sign of genius that came out, I think, on Sunday or Monday, so we probably have enough people, barely have enough people to cover what we need to do, but so if anybody has a little bit of time, swing out on Friday or Saturday night. And the pet parade is coming up, and it is the theme of time travel, and I mentioned last week, and I should have edited this, but here at Care of the Rescue 551, and so Teresa and I will get you the final details. It's pretty simple. We show up with your pet. If you don't have a pet, let us know, because Teresa's got a couple extra that she will borrow out. You don't have to take them home, although maybe you want to, I don't know. Anyway, and then the club picnic is coming up on September 6th, so we will not be here that day, so don't come to the end, because it'll, you won't be here too. So I realize I've been skipping over this for the past 4 weeks, so is there other club announcements for the good of the club that people would like to share at this time? Okay, super duper, thanks for efficient. Our help wanted list shrunk just a little bit with George last week volunteering to help Brent Hopa with foundation. And so, and Ellie has let me know today that she is interested in doing the newsletter reporting and meeting notes. So Murray connects with Ellie and then Brandon and David, if you guys can connect with Ellie and get her into your rotation, that would be great. And the list just keeps growing. If you have any questions about any of the things that are listed up there, how to do something, what does it actually mean? As I realize there's bullet points, let me or a Rotarian just ask around Rotarians. Know if they don't know, come to me and I will find someone who knows. So, I'm bummed Keith isn't here today because I think his classification speech, reclassification speech would be good. Keith has been a member longer than me. I'm always intrigued by what people said, you know, before I got here, because you don't know what you don't know. So anyway, it is Steve's birthday on August 5th, so if you see him, wish him a happy birthday. And with that, we will turn the microphone over to Marie for some fellowship. Lots of guests today to introduce, so take it away.
All right, we'll start right over here with guests. Teresa? Teresa? Teresa?
More than any. So my guest today is Evelyn Otis. We just got back from a mission trip from Wyoming with Pastor Mark. So it was really awesome, but I've known Evelyn for a while. She's also in our youth group at church, so I'm senior, so she's one of the students there. So while we were on the mission trip, I talked to Evelyn about perhaps coming and seeing what Rotary is all about, and maybe becoming a future member, hopefully. So she agreed to come, so Evelyn Otis here. Thanks.
Thank you. Also, please congratulate Teresa on 23 years with Todd.
Yeah,
Come
on
Saturday.
August 5th. So on Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
23 years, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
David?
I have a guess, where did she go? It's actually a real joy for me to see her kind of wander around. If you guys remember the last time she was here, she was right next to my knee back there. This is my daughter, Willow. Everyone say hi to Willow. Hi.
All the rest of the guests?
Yeah, we were supposed to say that.
Councilman, bus driver, whatever else, their manager, yes, congratulations, their manager. So now we know which order.
For what? For everything. Okay, I'd like to introduce, I brought 3 of the 5 fair ambassadors here, but they're going to introduce themselves, but I'm going to introduce Sarah, who is the mother of the junior ambassador. Say hi to Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
And here is Sarah, who is the ambassador's chaperone. Say hi to Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
And then the 3 of the 5 ambassadors will introduce themselves and hopefully promote the fair for next year.
Hi, everybody. My name is Allison Norton, and my sponsor was Farm Disposal. I'm one of their 2023 Bryce County Fair Ambassadors. And we had a lot of fun this year. Thank you to everybody who came out and supported. And if you couldn't make it out, we ask that next year come and check it out. This year was great, but next year's going to be really good.
Hi, everyone. I'm Taylor Felicia, and I'm sponsored by Two Rivers Tree Service. We are very fortunate to not have any major mishaps this year. It was a really great fair, really quiet. Next year, we hope for it to get even bigger. And then we also have Emma Dees, who is another one of our big ambassadors, and she was sponsored by Matt and Cassie Steves.
My name is Caitlin, and my sponsors are my grandparents.
Thank you. As tradition here, when you do a lot of promoting, like you do, and then have to pay for it.
Right. We have one more guest up here.
One more guest?
Today I have with me Amanda Kinsey. She is with Neighbors Helping Neighbors. They're actually run by Family Service of Rochester here in Rice County and Nelson County. So it's a program that aids seniors with disabilities, helping keep them in their home longer so they can help with things like transportation, grocery, shopping, housekeeping, handiwork. So let's welcome Amanda.
Hi. You. Started the whole table. Take your hand.
And I just want to make an announcement. There's 2 sign sheets going around. One is for people for baggage and table here for some sergeant of arms mainly. But 3 years are older Rotarians. Attendees are the brand new ones who are learning as one thing. So if you sign up, make sure the year goes first, the attendee goes second. Also, the other sign up is for the happy party.
And since Steve's gonna be with us in every meeting, if any of you would like to take a selfie Steve. We'll get it in the bulletin every week, so Steve constantly sees if we're paying attention.
We would love to have a collection of selfies by the end of the year. I would love that personally.
All right. So onto this table. South Central Vale. Nothing? School starting soon.
School starts the 21st. We have a start week where all the new students come in and get acclimated into what's gonna happen this year. And we're excited for a new year where everyone succeeds. And let me know if you want to be part of scholarships and volunteer with the board.
Sounds good.
So the money will
Yes.
go.
Not free. And if you look here, Jim is purposely not making eye contact. Fine. Realtor Cindy?
Well, we celebrated my mom's 91st birthday and had on a great day. I had so much fun with her, it's probably the most fun I've had with her in 6 months. And it was just really rewarding and so anyway, happy birthday to my mom, 91. She can't believe it. She's on her way, she's gonna be 90. So there you go.
That reminds me, my mother-in-law turned 90 today. And I instantly went to favorite son-in-law status because I was the first one calling.
It'll cost you.
Well, we made eye contact. So I've been asking Kathy all year long, when's Martha coming, when's Martha coming? And now Kathy's not here. How's it going?
Good.
I
I'm
keep
sending an
seeing-
email to the school about the committee for the concert, so
Okay.
I'm on it.
I keep seeing you and Kathy showing up playing music just about everywhere.
Yep.
So where's your next gig?
Albert Lee next Wednesday,
Next Wednesday?
and then Austin, and then Steele County Fair.
When you back at the Chart House?
I'd have to look that up.
Okay, I thought it was in September, but I could be wrong.
You want me to look it up? You could be right. No, Saturday, August 19th.
No, August 19th.
All right.
So if you want to see those two, go to the Chart House in Lakeville, Saturday, August 19th. There you go.
Do I have to pay for that
Yes,
promo
you
that
do.
you elicited?
Yes, this is promote the Rotarian Day.
Thank you.
All right. School starts when?
The 28th of August.
28th of August.
Oh, good to know.
Okay, I guess people didn't know that.
And that's Bethlehem Academy, correct?
Yeah, but also Farrell starts for the same week.
Yeah, well, we don't have anybody from there here. We just have you. So you got anything in there for me?
I don't, but I can Venmo later or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll cover that.
Okay, you're covered. Okay.
Thanks, Kate. So I've been MIA for a while, but particularly last month was a little crazy between 4th of July, I went to Nashville with some friends, got sick, and lost my voice for a couple days when I got back. Father-in-law passed away on the golf course. It was actually a good way to go. He's 91 years old and still had his mind. He's one of 9 kids. My husband was with him when I was in Nashville, so just visited him the week before. But he just set up for a putt, and he does checking out the line, and then he was giving 3 of the kids were with him. He was giving them a little putting lesson. Walked back to the cart, sat down, slumped over. And done.
Wow.
But it was, like I said, great way to go. He still had his mind, his pretty healthy till the end. Then I was at a Mayor Pies Women's Conference for a few days, which was fantastic. They usually do the Mayor Pies Conference in February, but they wanted to have it in Minneapolis. And I don't think they could attract people here in February. So we ended up having it in July this year, but that was really fantastic, really amazing conference.
And since I haven't been here, this is for you.
Aw.
Been waiting a
For
month
me?
to- Yes, been waiting a month to give you back.
Oh.
And congratulations, Laura, on presidency, because I haven't seen you in here since.
Dad joke king. Oh, thank you so much. This is awesome. And just so y'all know, this is official. It does. It says set, so funny. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
What do dad jokes I like?
Like victory?
You asked. Dr. Houston,
Yes, sir.
are you gonna?
Well, I'll take my turn.
So, I have $1, because I'm kind of disturbed with, not kind of, I'm very disturbed about some things that are happening. So I get 3 newspapers. And this newspaper had an article about some people in Florida that killed a horse. So we get a full page, 2 pages, for somebody that killed a horse in Miami. That gentleman got 10 years in jail and a $250,000 fine. And he was an immigrant who came from an ethnic group that ate horses. When I was in Mongolia, they were shipping horses to Finland and France on an ongoing basis to eat it. So we become, and then at that same time, I looked up in Miami for those 2 years, they killed 521 people. And that didn't make any headlines at all. Last week, Minneapolis, a man stabbed his friend to death, and he got probation. And so I'm an animal person, and they needed to be treated right. And this guy killed the horse by shooting it, which is about the most humane way you can do it. So, he did it for food. 10 years and $250,000 of fine. You know, that bothered me. It bothered me a lot that we're doing that. So, on a lighter note, our friend Sam Ho became a father last night about 6:30.
Oh, wonderful.
So he has another boy, 8 pounds. I've been lobbying for the name of Richard. And Sam declined, but he is named him Ricky. So I told Sam I looked it up. And Cambodian for Richard is Ricky. So he said, let's go with that. That's all a big lie, but anyway. The highlight of the day is Dr. Hanson does not have black socks on the head.
No.
Look at that, folks. He's got a ways to go, but he's got to start.
That's a highlight.
Yes. You're up. Okay. All right. So first of all, Kate, thank you so much for that kind gesture. That's so unexpected and awesome. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see here. I also have another buck for my honey Natalie, who thanks to her and her vintage camper and her planning skills, we were able to go camping last weekend to a place called Shades of Sherwood over by Wanamingo, which should be the Wanamingo Flamingos. That seems like such a big missed opportunity. I don't know why their sports team isn't called that, but I digress. Anyways, so thanks to Natalie for making that possible. It was a great weekend. We had a lot of fun with Harper and the 2 of us and some family friends over there. And Sunday morning, we were sitting outside of the camper, you know, just about ready to get packed up, and Harper was eating some Doritos, and some birds had flown down over by the ground, and Natalie said, Harper, crush up some Doritos and throw them over there, maybe the birds will eat them. And she's like, I don't think they'll eat them. And I said, well, maybe they'll bring them back to their nest and make walking tacos with them. And she gave me an eye roll. And I was like, okay, all right, we're at the eye roll stage. And I learned that as a success. So thanks
or that, and then Laura, you're doing phenomenal. So it's such a pleasure to come to your meetings, and you're doing such a great job being welcoming and inclusive and everything, and I really enjoy it, so thank you very much. Here we go.
Bob? Can I do this sitting down?
Sure.
I'm giving you $1, because probably that's all the stock worth. $1. But anyway, I want you to keep aware of climate change. This is a big disaster that's coming. And small doses of things that we can do actually locally as people. And I will just give you 2 of them. One is end the clutter. And by that, I mean at least keep all your electronics at least 7 years. And that translates into consumerism and reduce the amount of stuff we buy, just end the clutter. And the second one is, this is one of my favorites, is limit your air travel to 1 short haul trip every 3 years. And ponder those 2, because next week it gets worse, I can guarantee.
Pastor Cheslak. Today is significant in your history with this club.
Oh, is that right? Okay, so that would be what, 6 years?
6 years today.
All right, wow. Wonderful.
Just reiterate what I've said many times, it's been a true blessing to be a part of this club and meet so many wonderful people. And receive so much support in my own personal life through the members of this club. Last week, well, every classification speech is a gift to the club, but last week, Kristen gave a wonderful classification speech, and I just want to call that out. Thank you for that.
So what's new, Dave? Let's see, this weekend in Waukesha at the National Eagle Convention Center, they had Rotary Day. And there was a project that club and the surrounding clubs really propped up in to create not only an educational opportunity, but wellness for their area and environmental conservative area, which is just really flourished. We had a great time there, Willow and I. I learned a lot of things about eagles that I never would have thought. One, I'm getting off easy with this one. A baby eagle, super cute, they're all white. In the first 6 weeks, grows to the same size as a newborn baby does to year 12. Put that in.
Brad?
Yes.
Are those yours? No, those are David's. He put it away really quick. You got lucky there. Okay. Lisa?
All right, I'm going on just a few hours of sleep because I just returned from 10 days in Italy. It was a great trip. We got in at 2 o'clock this morning, so it is about 7:45 p.m. Italy time, but we had a great time. We went to Rome, Pompeii, Positano, Venice, and Florence, and it was absolutely fabulous. And I can't wait to go back, but apparently I have to wait a few years, so.
So who wants to speak up from Reliance Row here?
So Lisa Scott, IOU. So a couple weeks ago, Drew and I had our 40th wedding anniversary. We got away to Red Wing, and then we went up to my daughter's new camper that they were so excited to share with us. And we got to see our grandson that will be a month old on Saturday. Spent time with Everly, and just a great time away. And on the 21st of August, we leave for Alaska, so we're excited about that. So, yeah. Just a quick note out there, I know you're already looking for help for blue collar. I may need help with pull tabs, but I might have it covered, so I don't know yet. But you're already looking for help, so we'll see what happens.
All right.
George, we're at the front table.
Over here I got a whole bunch of it. The first one is, I went to the play with Hilda last Saturday. There's 50 kids in that play. They, some of them are pretty darn young. I don't like 8, 10 years old, maybe even younger. These kids are incredible. I would recommend those. What kind of performances are there?
I think it's all weekend.
Okay, well, I was from Deputy on Saturday. Brandon's daughters, we talked after, I gave her a hug after that. She did a great job. But that's something that these kids today are so far ahead of where I was when I was kid, it just blows my mind. That's one. Okay, now, a couple of comments along with Bob said. How can we save the environment? Well, I believe we're at the point of no return. Maybe past it, maybe just there. Depends on a lot of stuff. But we're not being given good information. Let's talk about ethanol. We took it out of the community co-op. The sign last time I saw was $2.75.9 for a gallon of ethanol. It costs over $5 to make ethanol. I can give you the numbers if you want, but it takes over $5. And not only that, there's the process of making ethanol puts far more CO2 in the air than you'll ever say of using it. I would recommend going back to gasoline. Now, what else are they going to be doing about ethanol? They're going to reduce the amount of production of it. But why? Because of electric cars. If we get that far with electric cars, we got a lot of problems there too. We may not go where we want to go. But the other side of that is that they're going to replace that ethanol with to replace what do we call it? The diesel engines. They're going to be using various forms of fats and oils to make ethanol. And now, if we're going to be abandoning the ethanol plants, but they use that for making this other product. They're not thinking about that at all. They're going to abandon those plants and build 20 new plants to make diesel ethanol. Crazy. And the other thing we can do is save gasoline and pollution. Don't go to fast stops or fast starts. Even close to a stop. And save your brakes, and save some gasoline. And on fast startups also the same way. And then if you drop your speed down from 70 to 60, if I had anything to say about it, 60 miles an hour would be the speed limit on the freeways. The wind resistance varies with the square of the speed. So if you just square 60, that's 3,600. You square 70, that's 70, 40, that's 100. You got 1,300 difference. That's about 20% wind resistance. Not quite, but it's close enough. It was all kinds of ways we can in our personal lives think about saving the economy. I think on a few more. That's enough for one day. You got my money? Got it.
$5 is up. Just want to make a comment that has anyone seen the recruitment video for the Fairfield Police Department that was sent out? That was very nice. Awesome. Did anyone pick up on, besides this Rotarian, who obviously is in there, other Rotarian who showed up there, not in the back of the squad car, but
Oh, Steve was in it?
Steve was in it. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was with some kids.
With some kids?
He was I'm gonna think of it, does he have any other clothes, but we're just. And then one last thing, I was gone last week, I was up north with the grandkids. We all stayed in the same place, and it was nice, I did not even need to set an alarm, because at 6 a.m. every day I heard, hi.
Did you want to say anything?
I'll just do
Okay. I have $1 too. Some of the Fairfield Rotarians went last night at the invitation of the St. Paul Rotary Club to Stillwater, and we had a lovely dinner on a boat. We had rain there in Stillwater, which was not expected, so kind of bad here, but what are you gonna do? But there were some Northfield Rotarian members there, and St. Paul and Fairwood was represented, and I'm not sure, I didn't get to talk to everyone on the boat, but it was a lovely time. So when you get those invitations to attend Rotary functions with other Rotary clubs, stepping out of your comfort zone just a little maybe at first, but then you're amongst friends and have a lot of shared things to talk about. It's very simple. So anyway, it's a good time.
Were you the only one from the club?
No, Steve and I were there, and Brandon and his wife Tony, and Dick and his wife Nancy were there, and then Kelly Nygaard joined us as well, so she's representing Fairfield and Stillwater.
Has she joined the club yet?
She has not joined a club yet, she's been a little busy, but either club will be very lucky to have her.
Okay, hands on the hunt or something.
And David's name came up a lot, it was almost like he was there, because everyone kept talking about Super David, like, how does he do everything, I'm not kidding, I think 3 different people were like, oh, you're in that club with that David guy, young David with blonde hair, and it's like, anyway, David's like a celebrity in Rotary, so it's kind of cool, because we get to say he's a member of that club. So I'll just leave the reminders up there, that you can look at, because he is gonna do his, presentation now. And it's going to be all, there's nothing electronic, right? It's talking and thinking. So please join me in welcoming, Talon Musselman.
With me.
Recognize this lady?
Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks. I always like to have a lady back me up. You know, ladies have such wonderful perspectives.
Give me that so we can all hear you.
Hey, look at that.
We turn off the screen too,
Is that,
so it's not glaring.
sure, yeah.
That would be good. And we just look that on.
Yeah.
Tell here. Does that sound?
Yeah, or
good?
Laura, you can advance one slide too, and I think that.
All right,
Oh, never mind.
I better get my notes out here so I can cover everything. And I have about 20 minutes, you say, I even brought my watch along so that I thought a lot about what I might want to say here today. And I went back to a lesson I had at the ALC. I do this thing called Sacred Circle, and it's one of these places where you come together and we make a safe, absolutely safe space where you can be transparent, authentic, genuinely who you are. It is the most amazing experience. I've been doing it for 52 years, and I'm flabbergasted routinely at what happens when people come together, and it's truly safe. So, you're gonna hear about Circle a little bit, but one day I thought, what should we talk about this week? I always have a theme for the week so that people would spend a little time contemplating and preparing for Circle. Homework, my gosh, how many do that? So the question was, what do you know for sure? Oh my gosh. Got in Circle, and kids, the circle goes around like this, and it gets to Cody. He's about 10 o'clock on the dial. He's a couple chairs away from me. Plants the cane, which is the talking piece for Circle, on the board. He says, "Dee, what we need in life is stability, guidance, and knowledge." Here's a kid that hardly had any of that in his background, but he understood it. And so I'm going to tell you a little about what I know for sure that works in life. Stability. Oh my gosh. Let me give you a little background. I had 7 years of foundational stability in my life to lay the foundation of who I am today. Oh my gosh, I was born into a living situation where I was the first grandson. I was the rainbow child grandson because my mother had lost a child in childbirth prior to my arrival. So that already put me in a caved-in position. And I was, my great-grandmother was in the house, my grandparents were in the house, my mom and dad were in the house, my Aunt Yeti and my Uncle Ike were in the house. I moved into that living situation the day I came home from the hospital. Oh my goodness, did I get showered with love and attention and, oh my, it was amazing. And I was a compliant kid. Oh my God, did that set me up for being, and then my brother was the black sheep. Okay, so I am set up for all of this love. And not only did I have that on my mom's side of the family, that was her side of the family, but the Muslims on the other side of the family, I was in the same position. And it, I mean, talk about idyllic 7 years. Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to tell you about Grandma Sadie, my great grandmother. I'm going to give you a little backstory on Grandma Sadie. She was born during the Civil War. Her father was off in the South for the Union. So that's how her life started. She got married to Wilson Albert Baldwin. They were prominent people in this tiny little village, Bakersville, Pennsylvania. And Grandpa Wilson, he was a fiddler and a square dance caller, and he was a prominent man in the community. One day they were out working on a county road, you know, horses and wagons, and it was a hot day. He had a fainting spell, fell off the wagon. The wagon rolled over my great-grandfather's head, crushed his head. Grandma Sadie lost her husband that way. Okay? Many, many years later, her granddaughter, Mary Jane, was killed by a drunk driver. My mother had already lost a child. Grandma Sadie was amazing. She handled all those storms impeccably. She had a strong Christian faith. She was so rock solid. And was she a teacher? Oh my goodness. So I'm going to tell you a story about me. I'm a little busy boy. I'm probably somewhere between 2 and 4 years old. And I'm sure she did this more than once because you don't always get the lesson right away. So she sat on the front porch on a swing. I mean, that's where she hung out. And she sat there most of the day. And so I'm busy running around the yard, and she goes, Delon, come up here. I got something I want to show you. Come on, get. Now, Delon, I know you're busy doing that, but you come on up here. She got me up on the porch swing. I sat down beside her, and she put her hand on my leg. Now I want you to slow down. You're moving way, way too fast. So relax, settle down now, because there's something for sure. So as soon as she got me settled down, she goes, look there on the ledge of the porch. Can you see that lily worm? Look how fuzzy it is. Can you see all the colors, the orange and the black, that little bit of yellow, and the tiny little feet? Look at those 2 antennae. Isn't that amazing? Oh. What she planted in my soul, probably the greatest gift I've ever received in terms of growing as a human being, is the skill of focused observation. It has served me so well. And I got started probably somewhere between 2 and 4 with that skill. And it's been along the way, all along the way. And I use it all the time today. To tell you a little bit more about those people who shaped who I am. Ray E. Waldo, my grandfather. Oh my gosh, I worship the ground he walked. I mean, I was with him every moment I could be, and from 0 to 7, I could see him every day. And he always took time to acknowledge me and love me. I better be careful here, I'll get all teary-eyed about Grandpa, because I miss him so. He's with me, but I miss him so. Your word. Here's something I know absolutely for sure, that if your word is good, it is good for you and everybody around you. If you say you're going to do something and you follow through on it and you're committed to it, people can count on you. That is priceless. And Ray was like that. Let me tell you what happened. It was during the Depression. His barn roof was getting old and leaky. He knew he had to put a new roof on. How in the world he squirreled away enough money to put a new roof on the barn during the Depression is amazing to me, but that's another whole thing, and George could talk to that. You gotta say it too. So anyway, they were all set. He had talked to the Amishman who had a roofing business. They were coming to put the roof on the barn, and a big storm came through, took the silo down. Oh my God. He was in a quandary. The roof was leaking, but he needed the silo to store the grain. So he made the decision, I'll figure out how to patch up the roof the best I can and just make do. Well, the Amish had heard about the tragedy, and the old man in charge of the business came by to see Hap, and he said, Ray, we're going to put the roof on your barn. We heard about your tragedy. We're going to take care of you. We know you're a man of your word. You pay us when you can. We know you'll take care of that. Just because his word was good. If your word is good, that is priceless. I know that for sure in life. And then I want to tell you about a concept that I learned from that family, but most importantly from my dear mother, Madeline. She taught me about kindness. Oh my gosh. I remember when I was a naughty boy, of course, none of you were naughty boys, right? She would turn to me and she'd go, Alon, was that kind? And then walk away. That's all she said, because she knew a lecture was not going to work. But if she got me to think about my behavior as being unkind, and I internalized it, then it would change. It wouldn't change with a lecture. I mean, how many of you have really responded to a scolding or a lecture? You know, we just dig our heels in and forget about it, right? She was amazing. And my mother taught me this. Look, here's something absolute, rock solid truth that will sustain you. The braid of life. Patience and kindness, laced and woven together by forgiveness. Think about that. If you're harboring unforgiveness, being patient and kind is not going to rise to the surface. So, forgiveness, huge. And notice it laces and weaves together patience and kindness. It's a powerful principle that I've tried to live all of my life. I mean, I remember at the ALC, one of my colleagues out there saying, Dee, you're too kind. You're letting them walk all over you. And maybe I did some days, but I would rather err on the side of kindness and patience and see the outcome. I have kids kids come up to me today and thank you. I was such a jackass. You know, I was horrible, and thank you for that. It works. Oh, another story about grandma's house. My grandma Anna was one of the best bakers in the area. She was notorious for apple pie. Her apple pie was the best apple pie. It was always gone at the Bakersfield picnic before her friend Alice's pies were gone, and she was kind of rubbing it in a little bit. My pies are all gone, but yours are still sitting there. Anyway, she was so amazing. And on a Sunday afternoon, this was before TV took over and we became spectators of life. People participated in life. There were as many as 20 cars stopped by for a cookie, a slice of pie, a cup of coffee, and a visit around the round oak table. That's where they did therapy. They talked about their heartaches, their troubles, their woes, and the celebrations. I was a mouse in the corner, you know, and I was watching all of this stuff as a little boy, just being so inquisitive about what these old people were doing. And that planted the seeds for what I ended up doing years and years later, out of college. That circle. Circle is such an amazing facilitator for communication. If you are ever in a situation where you're meeting with a group of people, sit in circle without anything between you and watch how much communication improves. You can see body language, facial expressions, you hear better, and if everybody is committed to honoring the person speaking, oh my goodness, is that powerful. And I saw that around the kitchen table. Yeah. Can I back up? I said my aunt Mary Jane was killed by a drunk driver. It was a horrible thing. It was during the Depression. My grandmother told Mary Jane, we're going to go to Humberson's over in Bakersfield, and we're going to buy some things. And if there's a penny left, you can have a penny for candy. Now you wait here at the house. Madeline and I are going to go up and talk to the Farkashes because Mrs. Farkash is ailing, and I want to go up there and see what's going on with them before we go over to Humberson's. And Mary Jane was supposed to stay at home. Well, she didn't. She was so excited about the penny candy. She came up to the road, and lo and behold, a drunk driver, Johnny Cups, driving down the road. And for whatever reason, he lost control of the car, hit Mary Jane, and didn't instantly kill her, took her life within a few hours. Okay? Now I say all that to tell you about the brain of life. Okay? My mother. Fast forward. I'm about 8. My mother was about 12 when Mary Jane died. My mother, we went back to Pennsylvania for a good visit, and my mom wanted to go to town to visit friends. The car had been acting up. Okay? It was stalling and futzing, but my dad said, oh man, don't worry about it, you'll be fine, just go. So she gets to town, and the car stalls at this stop sign. Couldn't get it started. There's a gas station, kitty corner, right across the street. Here comes a man walking towards her to save the damsel in distress. Who do you think that man was?
Johnny Cup?
Johnny Cup was coming to show her a kindness and help her out. Of course, she knew who he was. He had no clue who my mother was. And all of it comes flooding back to my mom, how he had taken her sister, he had taken her sister's life. And she thought, He's coming to show me a kindness. I cannot ruin his kindness. And she just accepted his generosity and kindness. Didn't say a word. All my relatives were so upset about that. But she was walking in patience and all. That was the mother I had. Oh my gosh, she was amazing to me. So I gotta wrap this up. I got what?
Yeah, a couple more minutes.
Couple more minutes. Oh my gosh. I didn't get to later stuff, but here's something you all can do. Every single one of you can do this to make Faribault a better place. This is a gratitude piece. It's a 1923 silver dollar. It's my mother's birth year. Brandon, can I put you on the spot?
Absolutely.
Brandon, will you hold the gratitude piece and tell us the best thing that's happened in your life today, from the moment you woke up till right now?
The best thing that's happened in my life
Just today.
was come to the Rotary.
Okay, thank you. Now, as soon as you express gratitude, what it does is it gets your brain on positive. And us hearing about gratitude helps us get our brains on positive. Gratitude, 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 all day long. Look at that beautiful sun out there coming through. It's that simple. Steve's picture back here. Oh, that's great, isn't it? Oh my gosh, next time I see him, I've got something to say about that. You know, gratitude. I'll tell you a quick story. Kids that go to the ALC are kind of rough cops. Lots of them. Partying and drinking and carousing all weekend long, and sometimes I knew that nothing I had planned for Monday was gonna work. So, and I could tell as soon as I walked in there, oh man, it's all over. I gotta regroup here. And I had worried about gratitude at a conference. So I had to pull out a sheet of paper, write down 3 things that we're grateful for. Don't tell me you don't have anything. Come on now, did you sleep under a bridge last night, or did you sleep in a bed? Put the bed down. That's simple. Don't let them get by. In 7 to 10 minutes, I got them up. After they wrote it down, I said, get up and talk to 3 people you don't know very well and tell them the 3 things that you wrote down. In 7 to 10 minutes, the total atmosphere changed because of gratitude. Gratitude is amazing. Okay? And we all can do that, and that can make Faribault a better place. But it has to start with hello. Oh my gosh. The ability to say hello to a stranger has gone down the tubes. COVID hammered us, and screen addiction is annihilating our social fabric. We have to restore a simple concept. Say hello to them. I run into people on the street. I say hello to them, and they tell me, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to say hello to a stranger. Well, you know, I'm a master manipulator, so I always get them engaged. But hello, we've got to restore hello. Okay? Gratitude, hello, the bread of life. Oh my gosh, this is so much more, but I can't get to it all. We're done. I'm done with. Do we have time for
We
more?
have a question, if there's a question.
Is there a question? Yes.
Not a question, but a gratitude moment. Thank you for all that you did for students at the ALC. One of my own kids, born in the Stillwater School District, he struggled for many, many years, and he has found his footing at the ALC, and he will hopefully be graduating this year. Thank you.
Right. You've used that phrase, braid of life, a couple of times. I think it's 3 words.
3 words, the bread of life. You want to hear them again?
Remind us what they are.
Patience and kindness laced and woven together by forgiveness. And you can't separate them. They are that threefold cord that you can unravel. It just works. Anything else?
Just a quick story. I always tell people, it's easy for me. But I was at the store, last week, buying some groceries, and the lady in front of me, had a little child with her. And I started talking to the child, and had a nice little conversation. I put my stuff on the ramp that went down, and I got to pay my bill. The lady before me paid the bill for me, and when I walked out, she's waving at me.
All right, there you go.
Awesome, let's hear it for Jesus.
I'll hang around afterward if anybody wants to talk.
Awesome, thank you so much. Your messages are always inspiring. All right, please make sure to clear your plates to help out the staff at the end if you can. And you don't have to pay your dues because we haven't gotten them out yet, except for if you haven't paid last year, pay your dues. And, yeah, until we meet again, please go out and serve with all your hearts.
Oh, one final thing, remember what's up here on this phone here? The choices you make in life ultimately.
Get in on the picture.
Ultimately, determine destiny.
Kathy feels better.
Yeah, she, research.
Oh, no. She looks like Beetlejuice. She doesn't have any more. She's the black eyes, but all the bruising from up here. She got a concussion. All the bruising from her face. She looks like Dr.
I love
So I wish her well.
I love
I know. I love her. Thank you. Yeah, everything. Yeah. Since my 80th birthday. Thank you, thank you. You came up.
So